step 6, make an offer.
I just have to go back to that and say, we're never going to push you to pick a house or settle. I'm not that smart. I can't sell you a house you don't want to buy, right?
Right.
But when you find the right house, I see it. I watch buyers. I mean, like you said, we've sold thousands of houses. We walk in and I can see it in my clients. They're like giggly or they're excited. They're starting to place furniture. They're, picking out their bedrooms. Everything about the property has got everybody excited. So when that happens, we're here to help you with that next step.
Yeah, and so the next step in New Mexico, we have standard purchase contracts that we use, purchase agreements, and most everybody in the market, most realtors in the market use the same forms, which is good because everybody understands them. But this is where you determine, what's the price you're going to pay, what is the different terms, and there's a whole bunch of different terms. One of the big pieces is knowing the dates. Like, what is the timeline? Because there's about, last time I looked, I think 30 some different dates in there
Yeah.
that you put through. And then there's a thing called earnest money, and there's a new thing called independent consideration. And this is money that goes up front as from the buyer, showing that either you're showing good faith by putting down an earnest money, or you're doing independent consideration, which is money from the buyer directly to the seller. That's going to be very common in 2026. Again, I'm not going to get into weeds on that, but this is where you also determine what all those contingencies are going to be. What the inspection timelines, the
Wait, let me
appraisal
stop you.
timeline. Go
They're
ahead.
not going to just decide, right? That's where we come in as
Oh,
their,
right, right. Good
right.
point.
All of
Yes.
these contingencies, inspections, appraisal, title, homeowner stuff, solar agreements, dates, deadlines, earnest money. That's where we as the realtor consult and say, okay, well, let's sit down and put together what that offer looks like, what's comfortable for you. When do you need to be in your home? What if you've got a rental? When do you have to be out? How do we give you time to move? All of those things that we put together to put the offer together. Obviously, we want to make a strong offer for you that works for you, but we want to know all those details to make sure it works for you, right?
Right. And it's important that you as the buyer, you're going through this with your buyer broker, your realtor, to understand what you're offering, what you're agreeing to, what the timelines are. But
One more thing on that is
yeah.
we are still seeing multiple offers on nice homes,
Oh,
right?
true, true.
So just knowing that sometimes, the smart terms, negotiating skills of your realtor in addition to price can be really important. And that's where someone who's done a lot of transactions and knows a lot of other realtors to have those conversations. What's important to your seller so that I can see if those things work for my buyer?
Well, and that's, I think, we're kind of in between from writing the offer to going under contract and the process there. But there's that middle part, which is the negotiation.
Right.
And there's a lot that goes in there.
Right.
That's negotiation one, as you always call it. We'll talk about what negotiation two is here in a moment. But this is the point where you agree on what the price is going to be, what the dates are going to be, what type of due diligence and if any, what type of documents that the buyer wants from the seller, and so on.